I've heard the same line for years. The 45 ACP is finished. 9mm holds more rounds and costs less. I understand the argument, and I won't pretend it has no merit. But after years of shooting, carrying, and testing handguns, I've learned that performance is not decided by a spreadsheet. A tuned 30-grain hollow point moving at subsonic speed is not outdated. It is exactly what makes the 45 so effective with a suppressor. When that bullet expands properly, the target does not care what caliber won an argument online. The 45 ACP has lasted more than a century because it delivers a heavy, proven payload no mainstream pistol round copies exactly. Today's 45 pistols are better than ever, with optics cuts, threaded barrels, improved capacity, and prices that seemed impossible 5 years ago. I would not trust every model available, but these 7 have earned my attention. Let's get into it. When I first saw the spec sheet for the Stoeger STR-45 Combat, I expected a budget gun overloaded with features just to grab attention. A Turkish-made polymer 45 holding 16 rounds, with a threaded barrel, optics compatibility, suppressor height sights, and a price under $650 sounded almost too good to be true. After looking at it more closely, though, I came away impressed. This is not a gimmick. It is one of the most complete modern 45 ACP pistols for the money, 16+1. That's 3 more rounds than a Glock 21, 1 more than an FNX-45 Tactical, and nearly double what any 1911 offers in a standard configuration. The 5.8-inch barrel is threaded .578 by 28. Suppressor height fiber optic sights come standard. The slide accepts optics out of the box with 4 mounting plates, and Stoeger ships 3 magazines in the case. 3. Most companies charge you $40 to $50 per additional magazine and give you 2. The grip texture is aggressive without being abrasive, the undercut trigger guard lets you get a real high hold, and the interchangeable back straps actually change the feel of the gun, not just the circumference by 0.5 millimeter, the way some brands phone it in. For shooters who've been waiting for a 45 that competes on modern terms without demanding premium money, this is the one that changes the conversation. Is the trigger a match-grade revelation? No. It's a striker-fired trigger that does what it needs to do. But that's not the argument Stoeger is making. The argument is value density, the sheer number of features you're getting per dollar spent, and on that metric, nothing else in 45 ACP comes close. The STR-45 Combat doesn't ask you to compromise for the price. It just gives you the features. Before the Stoeger existed, the FNX-45 Tactical was the answer to every question about high-capacity 45 ACP. 15+1 rounds, a factory-threaded barrel, suppressor height night sights, and an optics-ready slide, all from a company that builds guns for NATO contracts. That pedigree matters more than most people realize. FN doesn't design for the consumer market first. They design for militaries, then adapt for civilians. The FNX-45 Tactical is what came out of that process. A pistol engineered to run a suppressor as its default configuration, not as an afterthought. The barrel is cold hammer forged. The recoil system is tuned for the back pressure a suppressor introduces. The raised sights clear a can without requiring aftermarket replacements. Every element of this gun was designed around the assumption that there would be a suppressor on the end of it. Does that matter if you're never running suppressed? It still matters, because a gun built to handle suppressor back pressure runs cleaner and softer unsuppressed. The engineering overhead translates to smoother cycling, less felt recoil, and a gun that's overbuilt relative to its operating conditions. That's reliability margin you're banking every time you pull the trigger. At $100, it costs almost as much as some 1911s that give you half the capacity and none of the features. But the FNX isn't competing with those guns. It's competing with military contracts. That's a different standard entirely. And you feel it the first time you rack the slide and realize how overbuilt this thing is compared to everything else at the gun counter. Springfield has been making 1911s for decades, and for most of that time, the Operator line has been the one you'd hand to someone who actually intends to carry the gun, not display it. The 2026 Operator AOS takes that concept and drags it into the modern era with a 5.75-inch threaded barrel and a factory optic system that doesn't require you to send your slide out for milling. That barrel length is the detail worth paying attention to. A standard government 1911 runs a 5-inch barrel. The Operator AOS gives you 3/4 of an inch more. In 45 ACP, that translates to meaningful velocity gains. roughly 25 to 40 feet per second depending on the load, and a longer sight radius that makes precise shots noticeably easier. Springfield didn't just thread an existing barrel. They lengthened it, which tells you the suppressor integration wasn't an aftermarket consideration. I've always had a complicated relationship with 1911s. They demand more from you, more maintenance, more attention to magazines, more care with ammunition selection. But when a 1911 trigger breaks at 3.5 pounds with zero creep and a reset you can feel in your bones, the argument for striker-fired simplicity gets a lot quieter. The Operator AOS doesn't pretend the 1911 platform is perfect. It just closes the gap on the features that used to be missing. And for shooters who already know they want a 1911, who understand the trade-offs and accept them willingly, this is the version that stops making excuses for the platform and starts competing directly with modern designs on their own terms. If reliability had a default setting, this would be it. The Glock 21 has been the big bore workhorse for law enforcement agencies, military units, and civilians who just want a 45 that runs. Full stop, no caveats, no asterisks. The V series is Glock's latest generation, and while the improvements are incremental, they matter. The Glock Marksman barrel tightens groups at distance. The NDLC finish is harder than the old Tennifer treatment, which means it resists corrosion and holster wear better than any previous generation. The ambidextrous slide stop and reversible magazine catch finally make this gun genuinely left-hand friendly, something Glock should have done a decade ago, but better late than irrelevant. The MOS slide accepts a red dot, and while Glock's optics mounting system isn't the most elegant solution on the market, it works without drama, 13+1 rounds of 45 ACP in a platform that has more aftermarket support than any other pistol in existence. Holsters, lights, triggers, sights, magazine extensions, whatever you want to do to this gun, someone already makes the part. I keep coming back to the Glock 21 for the same reason most people do. It doesn't excite you. It doesn't impress you at the counter. But at round 3,000 with zero malfunctions and a cleaning schedule you'd be embarrassed to admit, it proves something that flashier guns can't. Boring wins. And in a market full of guns trying to convince you they're special, boring might be the most honest thing a firearm company can offer. 20 rounds of 45 ACP in a 1911 frame. That number alone should stop you, because for the entire history of the platform, over a century, the 1911 has been defined by its capacity limitation. 7-round standard, 8 with an extended magazine, maybe 10 if you were running a double-stack frame that felt like gripping a 2x4. Kimber just rewrote that equation entirely. The 2K11 is a double-stack 1911 with a 20-round magazine capacity, a factory-mounted Trijicon SRO, and a frame geometry that doesn't make you feel like you're holding a brick. Available in both 9mm and 45 ACP, it's Kimber's statement that the 1911 isn't just a classic, it's a platform that can be re-engineered without losing the characteristics that make it a 1911 in the first place. The trigger is still a single-action 1911 trigger. The grip safety still functions. The manual of arms is still what John Browning intended. But the capacity gap that made the 1911 a hard sell against modern polymer guns? Gone. The lack of a factory optic? Solved with a Trijicon SRO that costs over $500 by itself. This is not an incremental update. This is Kimber recognizing that the 1911 market was splitting into two categories, affordable entry guns and safe queens, and building something for the people who actually want to shoot. Whether Kimber can deliver the long-term reliability that a 20-round 45 demands remains an open question. The platform is still new, and round counts in the field are limited. But the concept itself is the most significant thing to happen to the 1911 design in years. The P220 is a single-stack 45 in a world that's moved to double-stack everything. On paper, that should make it obsolete. 8+1 rounds when guns on this list hold 15 or 20. In a market that judges pistols primarily by capacity and feature checklists, the P220 Legion shouldn't be here. But capacity is a metric. Shootability is an experience. And the P220 Legion shoots like very few pistols at any price point can match. The short reset trigger is the centerpiece. A DASA system where the double action pull is smooth and the single action reset is so short you almost miss it. It rewards precision. It rewards trigger control. It rewards the kind of fundamentals that capacity-obsessed shooters sometimes let slide because they've got 16 rounds to correct mistakes. The Legion treatment adds X-Ray 3-day night sights, custom G10 grips with the Legion medallion, and SIG's proprietary Legion Gray PVD finish. None of that is necessary. All of it is well executed. The P220 is the gun you buy when you've already owned several 45s, and you understand what you actually value. It's not about specifications anymore. It's about what happens between your hand and the target. I've shot P220s that group tighter at 25 yards than some guns do at 15. That's not the gun showing off, it's the trigger allowing you to do what you're actually capable of without the mechanism getting in the way. For shooters who measure accuracy in fractions of an inch rather than fractions of a second, the P220 Legion is still the standard. And standards don't become standards by accident. This gun was built because the United States Special Operations Command asked for a pistol that could survive conditions most guns would never encounter. Saltwater immersion, sand exposure, temperature extremes, tens of thousands of rounds without a rebuild. HK delivered the Mark 23 and then built the USP-45 as the practical, carry-size version of that same engineering philosophy. That lineage is not marketing, it's a procurement record. The recoil reduction system is the mechanical advantage most shooters don't fully appreciate. HK's proprietary buffer spring captures energy that would otherwise transfer to your hand, which means the USP-45 shoots flatter than most 45 ACP pistols its size. It's not a gimmick. You feel the difference within the first magazine. Follow-up shots come faster because the gun settles quicker, and your grip doesn't fatigue the way it does with direct recoil systems over a long-range session. The match-grade trigger and DA/SA configuration gives you a controlled first pull and a crisp, short single action for follow-ups. The universal accessory rail, HK's proprietary system, is clunky by modern standards, but adapters exist and the rail itself is indestructible. Parts availability spans 3 decades and multiple continents because military and law enforcement contracts guaranteed a supply chain that civilian-only pistols can't match. The USP-45 doesn't chase trends. It was ahead of most of them before they existed. You can buy trendier guns, you can buy cheaper guns, you can buy guns that look better in photographs, but if you need a 45 that will still function when everything around it has gone wrong, HK already solved that problem 30 years ago. And the solution hasn't needed revising since every pistol on this list exists because someone decided 45 ACP was worth building around, not as a legacy obligation, but as a genuine engineering project. From a $649 Turkish newcomer to a German military contract gun, the range of what's available in 2026 makes the caliber is dead argument harder to sustain every year. Pick the one that matches how you train, not how you shop. The pistol doesn't care about your brand loyalty. It doesn't care about what forum post convinced you. It cares about whether you've put the work in. That part hasn't changed in 120 years, and it won't change in the next 120.